better now than next time. Where are you going? You'll see the sign on top. The thing come from. They will switch us. Yeah, they will do okay. Our session today. We are coming. Hi, and welcome to our session today. We are coming to you from Miami. I am Dave. I am Vijay. Sorry, I am Vijay, and this is Dave. So let's get it straight. He is Vijay, and I am Dave. Sorry about that. And I hope all of you today have taken all the precautions to be safe and healthy, because we want you alive. And please take all the precaution the CDC have sent, that take those precautions seriously. I myself, I go to work, I wear my mask, I wear my gloves, and I sterilize. And so Vijay and me today is going to talk about SOS, an experiment. A lot of times when we hear the word SOS, it means save our soul. But here we are translating that into a spiritual experiment, which it's something different we are trying today. As I said, it's an experiment. Right, so SOS usually implies a crisis. And we feel that to some degree, we have a crisis on our hands. And this is why we want to introduce this concept of SOS. It is not exactly new. We have heard it before. We have done it in various training programs. So S means to stop. And O is to observe. And S is to steer. So stop, observe, and steer. So this is the concept we are going to work with. And so Dave, what are we going to stop? Okay, I will draw the parallel of driving. I drive a lot of miles every single day in my job because I cover a long span of miles in my geographical area. And I bump into traffic lights. So that reminds me of stop. And stop, why there's a traffic light. Traffic light controls the flow of traffic. Traffic light allows people to cross, but you have to stop to cross. So stop, what we are referring to here today, is stop the flow of your thoughts. Because a lot of time during the day and sometime in the night, when we are running about our daily business, there's so much thoughts going on. And especially now in this crisis, why is this happening? Why is this happening to America? Why is it happening to the world? Why? A lot of questions. And we become flustered and stressful about it. So what we're saying here is stop. Stop. When you stop, you slow down that traffic of thoughts in your mind. And observe. What do you observe? Observe where your traffic of thoughts are going. Observe where it have been for the last 5 minutes, what you've been thinking about, how many thoughts you have had in the last 5 minutes. We don't want to say for the day, but just for the last 5 minutes where your thoughts have been. And the third concept of steering is to steer in a particular direction. So Vijay would share more in depth into this idea.
I think it's wonderful, the idea that our thoughts are like traffic. It is very easy for us to see that. And we want to slow down our thinking, slow it down. And just as we see now that the traffic is very low on the roads, we can see it changes the atmosphere. It changes that sense of hustle and gives us a sense of peace and calm. Similarly, when we slow down our thinking, it starts to create a sense of peace and calmness around us. Together with slowing down the thinking, the second thing, as Brother Dave said, is to steer. So we want to steer our thinking from negative to positive, from waste to useful. We want to change the way we think about things. We want to change the way we see things. Whatever is happening around us, think of what benefit it can bring. Definitely, we acknowledge that there is harm taking place, that there is hurt taking place, that there is sorrow, that people are hurting. But additionally, we can see positives also. We can see people must be coming together. We can see so much cooperation. We can see care. We can see love. We can see assistance. So that's one form of steering towards the positive. The second thing is we want to look at our own selves and steer our own thinking to see how I can make use of this time so that I can bring my own mind in a positive state. And that means thinking of the positive things that I can do. Now, that is a second step that we could do. We can ride our bicycle, we can exercise, we can spend more time with the kids, we can spend more time with the family, we could read. And so this is an important thing, that in order to maintain our mental health, a positive state of mind, we do things that are beneficial. In our daily routine, we should also create a fixed routine, regular things that we do at about the same time. So we wake up at a certain time, we have breakfast at a certain time. So organize your day like that, and this will create a sense of order and well-being, a sense of order and well-being by having a routine. And then, so this is stop, observe where our thoughts going, but mainly we want to steer in a positive direction and steer in a direction that will bring benefit to ourselves. Now, I want to take that a little further and say that not only do we have to do things that are beneficial, but in fact, we should be what is beneficial. So we can play sports, but it will be even better if we create a positive state of mind, a sense of inner well-being, appreciation of life, appreciation of who I am, appreciation of your inner virtues, appreciation of your family. So create a positive state of mind. Steer your thought into a positive state. Is the glass half empty or half full? While this is a cliche that we all know about very well, in fact, it is something that we should really know in this time that we have time for ourselves, try to practice. While doing things that we want to do is beneficial and healthy, being what we want to become is even more powerful. So I will want to encourage us to even steer towards self-awareness. Dave?
Yeah, and as Vijay is talking about it, the thought came through my mind that when you're on the road and you're driving, you're on a journey. But our experiment today is a journey in our life, and let's find joy in our journey. Very important to understand how to find joy in your journey. The internal mechanism of your thoughts, how it works, what happens when you slow your mind down. We don't want you to blank all your thoughts. We want to steer the thoughts in your mind in a direction which Vijay would go through here. So in this journey, in this experiment, the journey of joy, let's make the journey a joyful journey. Let's understand how to make it a joyful journey. Let's experiment with the inner aspect of the thought mechanism.
So thoughts is an important thing. Thoughts is an energy. Thoughts is our power. Thoughts is the resource of the human being. When we stop or slow down, then our thoughts accumulate. Our thought power accumulates. And slowly we achieve a sense of well-being and a sense of stability. So this is the importance of stop. Stop means slow down our thinking. Generally, we think a lot and we think too much. And most of our thoughts are waste. Most of our thoughts are about other people's business. Most of our thoughts are about things that we cannot control. So let us try to let that go. Let it go. Let it go. Focus on me. Who am I and what am I? What am I to do? What is my goals? What is my perspective? What do I want to achieve? So this may take a little effort. At times it may even get a little boring, but work on it, because this is the way to accumulate the power of your being. This is the way to develop the strength of your personality, by accumulating the power of your thoughts. Or let us say by accumulating the amount of thoughts you hold. It's like a flow of water. If you put something to stop the flow of water, the water will start accumulating. So this is the thoughts. Don't let it flow away freely here and there and lose our energy. You will notice that many times we get tired, but it is usually the mind that gets tired first because we think a lot. Some people have the experience that they are all, life is great and it's all going well until they sit down or they try to relax. Then they fall asleep. It's a sign that the mind is getting too tired. So stop or slow the thoughts and accumulate the strength and the power of your thoughts.
Yes, indeed. As we continue on this experiment, a thought which has something I was thinking about is, wherever your thought goes, your energy flows. And wherever your energy flows, whatever there is there, it grows. So we want to have thoughts to flow, to just flow gently. Think about a gentle stream on a mountain top, how it flows gently down. And as it flows gently down, it brings so much happiness and joy to all of nature, all alive, of all the animals and the birds coming down that mountain top. And it flows and it grows into beauty. So let us see where our thoughts are flowing, where our energy is flowing. Thoughts are energy. Just remember that, most important. Your thoughts is your energy, and it's your energy of life.
So let us go to the second step. Stop means accumulate your thoughts. Don't let it waste. Let us go to observe. So we observe where our thoughts go. What do we think about? What occupies our mind? What takes our attention? And let them go. As you observe them, let them go. As you think about the news, you realize, okay, you understand that, then let it go. As you think about what your neighbor is doing, okay, we understand that, let it go. As you think about what's happening to anything around you, you understand it, you let it go. So keep letting go, letting go. Detach yourself from these things and let the thoughts come within the self. Let the thought accumulate closer and closer to the being, to understand who am I. I am not my neighbors, I am not the news, I am not what is happening in the kitchen, I am not what is happening outside. Who am I? I am a soul, I am a spiritual being, I am the energy inside. Even if you think sometimes of our own health and our own body, in fact, which part of the body am I? I am not the hand, it is my hand. I am not the ears, it is my ears. So even the body, if you can think deeply, you will find that I am not even the body. I am something even further in. And as you go in, we begin to appreciate that there is a divine side to me, a spiritual side, let us say, definitely something beyond the physical. And so this is what I want to observe, the inner part of me, my attitudes, my thoughts, my feelings, my awareness. These are the non-physical part of me. And this is the real me. This is the eternal me. So as we observe the physical things, let us let them go, drop them off like unnecessary clothing, like unnecessary baggage. Let them go, drop them off, and do this experiment of letting go, letting go, letting go, and see how close you can come to your real, original, pure self.
Yeah, that I like that idea of being. How, a lot of time you ask somebody, how are you? Say, I'm good, I'm fine. But are you feeling fine? Are you feeling good? The feeling is the being. A lot of time you say, how was your day? You're supposed to say great. So you say great, wonderful, really nice. But are you feeling that? Is it true? So we will do a small experiment of this journey, steering. We're going to steer in a direction. So when we stop at the light, we observe. So Vijay is going to take us on the journey of steering. We're going to change. Rather than going straight ahead, we're going to turn that steering. So Vijay is going to lead us into a very simple experiment, or you might call it an exercise of being.
So being means to look at yourself and feel who you are. So now, sometimes people call this contemplation, sometimes people call it meditation, sometimes people call it prayer. But I want us to participate. It is a verb, this exercise. It is something we do, not something that happens. And therefore, you need to put some effort into it. And the effort is to think slow, to not let your thoughts run away. So stop. The effort is, when you do discover that your thoughts have gone somewhere, to steer it back to the direction you want. And where we want to go, I will give you those thoughts for today. And then the final effort is to steer it in the direction of feeling. Steer it in the direction of your inner being, of your inner awareness, your inner feeling.
Let it flow.
Let it flow. Flow in that direction. So be relaxed. Follow my thoughts. Go in this journey with me. You could go on a similar journey to me. It doesn't have to be exact, but this is the type of idea. This is what we are talking about. So a few deep breaths is always useful to relax the body. So wherever you are sitting or standing, a few deep breaths. And that relaxes the body a bit. And just observe your breath in and out. Observe your breath in and out. And then steer to the idea of me. How do I feel? I want to feel relaxed. So I let the body relax. I let the mind relax. I think of a scene that is peaceful and relaxed. I think of a bird in the sky. I create scenes of relaxation. I remember times when I was relaxed. I remember a memory of something that created relaxation, maybe me in the company of the family or a friend visiting someplace. And I hold that memory so that not only there is the memory, but there is the feeling. So I recall the feeling, I recall the joy, I recall the laughter. I recall the happiness. I recall some positive detail of the scene. And I ask myself, what made me so happy? What made me so content? And I remember the people. I remember the occasion. I remember the event. But if I let go the people, the feeling of happiness can still remain. So I focus on my own sense of happiness. My own sense of peace. My own sense of quietness. My sense of silence. Silence. So this process of remembering and feeling and letting go the physical triggers so that only the internal experience remains is called an inner journey. It is sometimes called meditation. It is an exercise we do. It requires effort. It requires concentration. It requires that we stop the thoughts from going outwards. It requires that we make the choice that I don't let my mind go wherever it wants, but I bring it, I have chosen the path of peace, and I bring my mind towards that direction. It requires that I continue to steer the thoughts to positive experiences, and then to go deeper within. So this is the exercise of managing the thoughts and managing yourself. So thank you very much, Vijay, and thank you for listening. Please look out for more experiments by other teachers in Brahma Kumaris, Miami, Facebook, and we will see you again for another experiment. In the meantime, please be safe, be healthy, and find joy in your journey. Joy on the journey.
Joy on the journey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.